Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flux Motorsport TV. You're with your host for the evening, Lecky_2000, and it's that time again. It's just gone 8 PM on a Thursday evening, and it's time for the GT1 Championship. Linga Bazinga, as we would expect, coming in top of the shop at present with a 1:25.1, but I suspect there's going to see some much quicker times coming in than that as we go through our qualifying session. But Destroyer, currently putting in 1:25.3s. Just behind Linga Bazinga, so Destroyer was 14th in our standings coming into this round. So that is a very interesting result there from Destroyer. Looks like he's got whatever problems that he had last week sorted out in that car, and he's certainly flying this week, potentially knocking Linga Bazinga off top spot, or certainly here looking like it's capable. Blackfile still doing a pretty good job here, sticking it in third, only half a second or so, and I think that's a little bit of rain. I think it is indeed. I don't know whether you can confirm. Is that rain hitting your window, Toasty?
Oh yeah, I see it too. Yeah, it's starting to come down.
So I think that's it in terms of lap times. I think for 6 minutes left in our qualifying session, that essentially that is going to be it. This is the wet weather in now. Just as we come to the end of qualifying, a quick rundown of our current pole sitter, which is Linga Bazinga, and then on the first row to join him is Destroyer. Just behind that, on the second row is Blankfile and Snell and Bongo, third and fourth. Little God and Immortalis come on the row behind that, fifth and sixth. Merlin and Jack in seventh and eighth. Jelma, or Martin is 65 as you know him, in ninth. Survivor in 10th. Dirk Diggler and Giacomo come up 11th and 12th. And rounding us off is TC Thrasher and Murphy. Murphy putting in not a great lap at all, so I think Murphy's struggling with his setup there. So just as the lights come down, we get underway here, and we are go for our GT1 race. Linga Bazinga is in first place. Coming up behind him is Stalin Bongo. Stalin Bongo gets a great start, undercuts Destroyer there for putting into second place, and Destroyer falling way back down the order. Linga Bazinga getting a good start, Stalin Bongo following through just behind him. But Immortalis coming up into third place now. Destroyer holding on just about to fourth. Looks like he's dropping back down that order further still. And that is letting Jelma come up through into fourth place, and Jack Demens into fifth, so Jack picking up some spots now. Immortalis getting a what looks like a face full of Linga Bazinga there, so Linga Bazinga going just a little sideways there. Looks like the wet weather catching him out already, but that's allowed Snarl and Bongo to jump through, and Immortalis to jump through as well, so Linga Bazinga back down to third place now. As they come over this crest, Jack Demens is in fourth. Looks like he's getting a bit of a gap between him and Linga Bazinga, so it may be 1, 2, 3 with the rest of the pack following him. Jack's trying to keep up though. It looks like we still have got a bit of a dry line on the inside of that apex there, and I just wonder how long we're going to get that in lap 1. We've no more movers and shakers at this stage during lap 1, but they are certainly all bunched up together, and this wet weather is going to make it very, very interesting. So as we come through onto the back straight now, just coming to the last two turns, is that a little flash from Immortalis with his lights on, and it could be anybody's for first place here as they come snaking through the final chicane back onto the pit straight. Linga Bazinga looks like he's going to try and push a move on Snell and Bongo here, pushing Snell into the inside. He's not got the pace to try and make it all the way around the outside, and that has let Immortalis come up, and that looks like it's contact. That's going to be Stewart's inquiry. Both the Dutchmen here getting into contact into turn 1, and Urs claiming its first victim there. So that's allowed Destroyer to come back through. Destroyer dropped back down to 6th spot, and he's managed to claw his way back up there, up into second, and past Immortalis now. So it looks like he's just about got past Immortalis, and he's now chasing the back of Jack, so this could be anybody's race. No change at the top so far. Jack Demens is still being hounded by Destroyer. Blankfile still in 4th spot, but now Linga Bazinga looks like he's made his way up through the grid, up past Jelma, up into 5th spot, and I think it's just a matter of time before he starts trying to put the manoeuvres on here, as Blankfile now really get involved in the action, and he's made it stick, so he gets on the inside. Back end of that car getting a bit squirrely, so he couldn't get the power down. He's had to drop back again as they come into turns 2 and 3. No, Blankfile can't get that manoeuvre done. He's stuck right with him though, again right in the dirty which is not easy in these cars, and right in the spray, and he's gone straight down the inside. I think he is going to get this manoeuvre done now here. Is he going to get the run here? That Panos has got a lot of power, but it's whether she can get it down. And that's allowed Destroyer to take the inside. He breaks in time. That's allowed Bazinga to get right back up. So these two guys fighting has allowed Linga to get close right into the back of Blackfire, and he's going to try and manoeuvre around the outside. I expect Jack probably is going to try and fend these guys off as we get through this race. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully he can do well. He's been looking for some decent points after a second place in the championship last season, as it looks like he gives a place up there, so maybe we've spoke to us soon, and that is the curse of the commentator. And that looks like Destroyer coming through, so Destroyer coming back up past Blank File and trying it on with Jack now, and that was a little bit too cheeky, I think, though. He's going to have to take a slowdown penalty for that, and that's allowed Blank File through again. So this is a great race here between Jack, Blank File and Destroyer. So far it could be anybody's, and again we've got contact there, so it was only a matter of time. They couldn't go too wide through all the chicanes, and Blank File just coming off a little bit worse there, so again we're going to have to go to the stewards' inquiries, I think, for that one. We'll just go over back to our battle for second place where the action's at. Bazinga managing to keep Destroyer just behind him, and if anything create a bit of a gap there, so whether there's damage there on Destroyer's car after that coming together with Blank File earlier. Blank File's not dropped too far down the order, a space maybe, but potentially got that back up, so he's down in 5th spot at the moment. I don't know whether he's going to be able to, again, if there's damage, don't know if he's going to be able to catch up with the front runners here, but whether he can maintain 5th and hold Jelmer off with it. He's got a 3-second gap behind him between him and Jelmer. Lap 8 here at Zolder, with around about 30 minutes to go in our session, just over. So a third gone, 2/3 left. And what are we thinking in terms of weather? Have the skies started to open? I think potentially the rain is still coming down here. It does look like we're still getting droplets of water on the camera.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon.
Still a battle for second place going on between Jack, Bazinga and Destroyer. Gentleman not quite in the action at this stage, but Bazinga starting to put the moves on again, starting to get right into the car in front's mirrors, and really starting to feel it, make the car in front feel his presence. Bit of a tap on the brakes though as he came into turn 3 as it is. Just trying to avoid the back of Jack's car, just try and get the run up now for the straight. And I think Bazinga's just about got the run done here, but Jack has got the inside line. Now, you've seen these chicanes already take a couple of victims so far. Jack just about getting in within side track limits there. I think he's going to get away with that one, but it's not letting him get the power down, so he took a little bit too much of that chicane, too much of the rubbers, and that's just allowed Bazinga to get through, and again it's allowed Destroyer to catch back up. Again, I'm just trying to take a look for the weather. Looks like it's coming down in spits and spots at the moment, or if anything it looks like the sun might be opening up just a little bit, peeking through the clouds. Still running out on track at the moment, still watching for that dry line to try and open up, and some of the guys ditch into the pits. As we say that, Bazinga ditches into the pits, so Bazinga's the guy to flinch first. Immortalis, could he be going for a no stop? Surely not.
With the pace that he was showing early on, I don't think so.
I think he's been waiting for the opportunity for Bazinga to come in, and then directly after that we'll see Immortalis come in. Right, okay, so he's just coming up to sector 3 now. As he comes through this back sector, we'll see whether he comes into the pits. Final chicane as he comes through, and if he doesn't take this and goes straight on, and he's not doing so, he's sticking it out here for yet another lap. I didn't think they could potentially do this on a no-stop strategy. Back over to our battle for what is 4th spot again now between Jack, Merlin and Jelmer. Merlin did get that move done eventually, so coming through the first chicane section, it looks like he's got the speed, but it looks like he's just got Squirrely just coming over the crest of that hill there. Jelmer not giving that up too easily. He's all over the back of him trying to look for the inside line there. Not managing to get it done this time, but he has put enough pressure on for Merlin to spin, and that is contact there. Not contact that Merlin caused though, so he doesn't actually let off, and he doesn't have to let that car through. That was just a racing incident as far as I'm concerned. So just under 10 minutes left in our session, lap 23 so far. We haven't seen Immortalis pit so far. Bazinga and the rest of the grid, most of the rest of the grid have pitted. I think one or two possibly haven't. Trying to go for a no-stop strategy. as Merlin gets a bit on the grass there. And a very adventurous line there from Jack in front. That was futuristic even from Jack.
There's 9 minutes left in the race. Immortalis' lap times are going to be falling quite heavily towards the end on one set of tires. His braking zones are going to keep extending, and he's going to have to brake earlier and lighter, maybe shifting the brake bias towards the front even, so that the back of the car doesn't slide around like we saw just there.
Oh, and I think that's caught up in the action there. Is that Jelmer that had gone round there?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe that was Jelmer and Blankfile again, possibly, that were caught up in that action. I don't think we can see a dry line forming at all, but whether the rain's easing it, whether it's becoming less wet out on track, that could be a possibility. That might actually change the dynamic for one or two of the cars here. It certainly seems to have let Merlin get back onto the... as he takes the inside line, I literally cursed the commentator, but Jack giving it just as good back. So, toe to toe here, literally blow for blow as they come through the last turn. And Merlin's still going to try and get the move done though, so as far as he sees, he's giving as good as he gets. Does go really shallow into turn one, making him run deep on the exit. So Immortalis still not pitted at this stage, but currently, like you said, McToasty, just coming back to his lap times, 1:42's the last few laps, and that gap to Linga Bazinga was 50 seconds, it's now 23.
Yeah, Linga is absolutely flying at this point. He's not quite setting the 1:33.8 like Immortalis was early on, but he sees that gap falling, and I think he's still hoping for a win.
As we come over to the last 20 seconds or so, let's just take a quick look where Immortalis is on track. Just coming into Sector 3, I believe, now. Yep, so we're just coming up into Sector 3 now, so this is potentially going to be his last lap as he comes through the final sector now. So it's going to be Immortalis for the win, I believe, at this stage, but not an awful long way behind him is Linga Bazinga with just 3 seconds and closing every single second. And that will be it, I think, as he comes over the line. Just coming through the final sector. I don't think we're going to get another lap here. And yep, Immortalis for the win as he comes over the line. Linga Bazinga comes over in second spot. A great recovery drive from Linga Bazinga by the end of it, but just not enough in the end to take Immortalis at that final corner. But what an absolutely great race between those two. So, but yeah, I think a great drive from all the guys here, getting a little bit twitchy, I think, as they came through the final, the final few laps, the final 10 minutes, as it was really. But Jack actually securing that fourth place spot, and Merlin just in front that we saw then, getting the third spot just as they come through over the line. And Lil God, again, a great drive, came all the way back down from 10th, 11th spot at one point, and from sticking it out. Despite some nibbles from the rear end from a couple of different drivers on the way through, again another good drive, so yeah, another good performance from Lil God. Jelma coming up in 6th spot, so just about to come through the final chicane now. Destroyer coming back up there from 10th spot, so managing to get some places back, but he's got to be disappointing with the drop from 2nd spot. So that was the rundown of our order. Immortalis first, Linga Bazinga second, Total Cop third, Jack Dementes in 4th spot, Little God in 5th. Martin or Jelmer, as we call him, in 6th, the Destroyer in 7th, Murphy in 8th, Dirt Diggler in 9th, Blackfile 10th, TC Thrasher 11th, and Giacomo in 12th place. So that has been it from the GT1 Championship for this evening. It's been an absolute wet but great race yet again. It's going to be even more interesting. We take a look at our standings table to see what that's done when we come next time, and we will bring you all that action next time. But just a little look forward from our GT1 Championship. Like I said, our 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. On Friday night we have our US sports car division, which is the GTEs, and that is, like I said, 8 PM EST or 1 AM on Saturday morning if you're in the UK. And then after that we've got our LMP2s and our usual IndyCars, as well as Sunday's races to come. So do tune into Flux Motorsport TV, make sure you catch all the action. But yeah, from me tonight and From the rest of the guys here at Flux Motorsport, it's been lovely to have you. Toasty, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to everybody else who's come along as well. But from us here tonight, good night.